So dropshipping on TikTok Shop is finally here, like legitimately here. And this is a way that combines two very lucrative businesses that a lot of people do, TikTok Shop being one of them, one of the fastest growing online businesses, and of course dropshipping. And in the past, you couldn't really do them both because TikTok has this little terms of service condition saying you have to have inventory in the service region where you are in order to actually do any kind of TikTok Shop stuff. So until now, you just couldn't do it because dropshipping would have warehouses all over the world. But finally, a certain company that I'll show you in this video figured out a way to set this up so that when you're dropshipping, you actually do have inventory where you're selling it. And that way you can do dropshipping on TikTok Shop. Like I said, combining two of the most powerful tools on the internet, dropshipping, something that a lot of people have been doing for a while and has really been evolving a lot. And of course, one of the fastest emerging online businesses, TikTok Shop, allowing you access to a huge amount of people who could be potential buyers and reducing that barrier so they don't have to click to go to your store and then make a purchase. It's now on TikTok Shop. And with that, you can actually have other creators promoting it. You can have affiliates through there. There's a lot you can do with TikTok Shop. So with that being said, there's a lot to talk about in this video. I'm going to keep it as clear and as concise as possible. So I recommend you follow along click by click, and at the very least, take out a pad of paper, take out a pen, and take notes throughout this video. So the first thing we want to do is set up our TikTok Shop. We need to have a TikTok Shop account that is set up, that is verified. So to do that, I'm going to go to santrelmedia.com/shop. So santrelmedia.com/shop, hit enter, and it'll bring us over to the seller center for TikTok. So you can see it'll look like this. It might look a little different. TikTok does change this from time to time, but we'll see a button on the bottom that says sign up now. And that should bring us to a page that looks like this. Let's enter our email address. Of course, you could also continue with TikTok if you have a TikTok account and want to set up with that, or you can continue with Google if that's easier so you don't have to remember a password. But I'll sign up with an email right here, and then we'll create a password. We'll say continue, and that'll bring us over to this page right here. Now, it's going to ask us some questions about our business. If you don't have a business set up now, that's not a problem at all. You can do this as an individual. If you have an LLC set up, you could set it up as corporation down here or sole proprietorship, depending on how you have it set up. Also partnership if you have a partner. I'll just go with individual for now. We're going to go with individual. And for this, we have to verify our identity in a minute using our driver's license or, passport or whatever ID you might have. You'll also need your social security number and you'll need your address to make sure that it's actually validated. Of course, if you have a business, those documents will be a little bit different. You'll need like your EIN, for example, of course, depending on where you are in the world. So let's go with individual. We'll say next. And from here, we can verify, let's just say with state ID or let's say driver's license. So I'm just going to go through all this, click next, and then we'll meet up after that. And then finally, that'll bring us to the page where we can choose our shop name. So for this, I'm just going to make up an arbitrary shop name, but choose one that would make sense for you, depending on what you think you might want to sell. Of course, keep it kind of generic. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself too much. It really is just a shop name, but we'll just call this Santrel Goods for Sale. I don't know, something like that. And we can add a shop logo. So I'll say add. Now we can upload the file here. This could be something you make in Canva very easily, or you can make, just take a photo, whatever you want your logo to be. You can make this, I wouldn't think about this too much, but just make a quick and easy one. Then we can choose the primary product. So maybe this is going to be like sporting goods, sports and outdoors. There we go. Sports and outdoors. That's probably what I will be selling in this video. But you could choose, obviously any category that makes sense. Then enter your phone number right now. You'll need to confirm your information, and then that'll bring you to this page here. Now, this is going to take up to 24 hours. In my experience, it usually takes significantly less than that. But in the meantime, we can get everything else started. That's why I wanted this to be step number one, just so that while this is happening, we can then go and do product research and find the product that we want to sell. Now, we can add tax information. We'll do that in a minute as well. But for now, let's go to a new tab. So now let's go to a new tab. And in this new tab, we're going to go to our supplier. So if you already have a Shopify store, that's great. You can totally use that. If you wanted a Shopify store, I have other videos on how to do that. But in this video, I'm doing it in the simplest, most concise way possible, as I mentioned before, which is directly linking your supplier to your TikTok shop. So you don't actually need to use Shopify here if you don't want to. There are plenty of benefits to using Shopify. You can sell in other places, but for this, like I said, we're doing the simplest one possible. So the supplier we will be using, I believe, is the first one to offer this, or at least one of the first few to offer TikTok dropshipping. and this is Zendrop. So we have an affiliate link down below. We don't charge for courses. There's no information withheld in this video. And the way that we make our content for free is through those who just voluntarily use our affiliate links, right? It costs nothing extra to you, helps to support the channel. So we would appreciate it if you use that link. And if you want to, you just type in santrelmedia.com/Zendrop, or you can click on the link in the top of the description, or you can just copy and paste it over to a new tab. Now, if you go through our link, you also get some benefits, so kind of a win-win. You get rewarded because not only do you get the 7-day free trial, but you also get 50% off for the first 3 months. You get $200 in order credits. There's free money that you'll get that you wouldn't get if you didn't go through our affiliate link. So at the very least, kind of helping you get your business off the ground here, and a couple other perks like Zendrop has some coaching calls, some little master classes and stuff like that, just to, make sure that you understand the platform and it works as well as possible for you. So with that being said, let's start off by typing in our name, our first name, last name, and our email address, and then I'll click on next. So starting off, Mike, if I could spell my name right, that'd be great. And then we can enter our credit card information. Again, this is a 7-day free trial. If you decide it's not for you, totally just cancel it. Super easy to do. So let's enter my credit card right here. Then click on start free trial. And it should load. Might take a second for this to happen, but that'll bring us into our dashboard. So that brings us to a page that looks something like this. Now, do not click on this. We do not want this. We want something else. So it only works if you do this the right way. If on the bottom you click choose another platform, we will be clicking on TikTok, but we can't do that just yet. There's 2 things we need to do before setting up this store to make sure that it actually works well, doesn't get blocked, doesn't get deactivated by TikTok, and make sure that we are following all of their terms of service correctly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find a product. So if we go to find products, there are a lot of options on the left side that help you search for products. Find products is the easiest one to kind of just filter through these. So you want to say ships from the US, you can look at all categories or maybe specific categories. As far as suppliers, we could say just Zendrop US or Zendrop fulfillment. You can look at price range here, and all of that is just another way for you to filter and research and find what products are actually available for you. So you can browse through these. There are certain things I've talked about in previous videos that will make for better or worse products, right? You don't want something that has a lot of high returns, a lot of liability. Like, you don't want electronics that could break and injure people, obviously. That's a very bad idea for a product. But most of the stuff that's on Zendrop right now is pretty well curated, like body cleanser, a belt, like pretty basic things that will probably have a very low level of returns as long as you are marketing it correctly. Now, other than that, we also have the ability to browse other products down here with trending products, and you can just kind of look at what's trending right now, at the very least to get an idea of what kind of products are working. And so if we look at these and say, hey, like this water bottle, like we know those bottles are very popular right now. Maybe this little like strap, or what do they call this thing? Carrier, a water bottle carrier. Maybe that's something that might be interesting. It costs $2.27 for you, and you can maybe sell that for, I don't know, maybe $10, $15, $20, something like that, and you'll get a pretty substantial markup even after accounting for the shipping. Down here, you'll see the shipping cost is $5.39 in the US, so definitely a pretty substantial shipping to product cost ratio there. You're looking at about $7.66. So I would want to sell this for really no less than like $15. And even that's going to be some pretty tight margins. All right, this is kind of cool right here. Some things you might just find interesting to yourself, and you have to really kind of differentiate what you think is interesting and what an actual customer might think is interesting. Sometimes there's a lot of overlap, and when that happens, that's great. It makes it a lot easier for you to market because you are the customer and you know what the customer wants. So something like this, you might say, okay, a lot of people who are interested in music or guitars or classic rock, anyone who's like really identifies with like a Fender amplifier and think that's a cool thing is going to potentially like this. Now, maybe they'll get that and their spouse will not like it, right? So you have some risk of return there, but for the most part, this is like a fairly cheap product. This could be a very easy impulse buy. Somebody's on TikTok late at night, they see that and they're like, oh, that's so sick. They order it, and then, who cares? They're out like $20 and they get something that they might end up liking. If we scroll down, you'll see it's $15 after you account for shipping. So again, shipping is pretty substantial here as well. You can do like a 2-set here or just one. So you're going to have to sell this for a little bit more. I don't know why it says as cheap as $1.55. I guess that's for the keys only. But if you're selling that for like $30, it's going to be a little tougher as an impulse buy. Something like this could sell really well at like, $20 to $25. So let's kind of keep browsing. I'm just going to pick one kind of at random just for demonstrating in this video. And something that's cool about this product library, as you're scrolling through, you'll notice a lot of them might be products that you recognize. So some brands like Dove, for example, we've got that one. We've got NextCare. We have a lot that are like legitimate brands that people know of. And so that's going to make it easier to sell as long as, again, it's going to be a little more competitive then when you start doing, you know, those type of products, things that are not really novel or new or interesting. Like if you're just selling deodorant, people are like, you have to compare the price then to your local, you know, CVS or whatever if you're buying that. So something like this, if it's $16 for one, maybe not everyone's going to be buying that. So I'd rather find something that's a little bit more novel, a little bit more interesting and different and unique and easier to sell on an impulse rather than like an everyday thing that you need that you could otherwise buy at Walmart. All right, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to go with this Anchor outlet right here. It plugs into your car. It's a, you know, USB Type-C and USB Type-A port. It could charge a lot faster. I think a lot of people are charging with like those little old like 5-watt or 3-watt chargers that literally can't even keep up with your phone. Like it's dying while the map is up. Whereas this 36 watts, it'll charge your phone, you know, substantially faster. So I think that could be somewhat easier to market. It's cheaper, impulse buy. Most people don't have a good one in their car, or at least they don't have one that has two like that. A lot of newer cars do have USB Type-C and they have CarPlay and stuff, but still, there are probably a good amount of people out there, like myself included, who just don't have CarPlay. So that could be something that maybe would be very interesting to them, just to have that faster charging. So we're just going to say add to my products. And once we have that over in my products, you'll see right here, my products, before we review and publish that, we're finally ready to connect our store. If we go back to the first tab, you'll see we do have our business account set up. It was approved. It's great. I actually also added the tax information. You just click on that. It's a W-9 if you're in the US. You type in like, you know, your information, the same stuff again, just to make sure that you are tax compliant in your local region. So we have that. Good. We have Zendrop. We have a product. Now all we do is connect the two of them and we'll be able to start listing products on TikTok Shop. So if we go up to connect my store, again, do not go with this. You don't want to do that. You want to click on the bottom, choose another platform. This is very, very important you do that. And on the right side, we have to go with TikTok US. We'll say continue. And then we want to say, I would like to build my own store. And then we'll say, I have a store, connect it. So we'll say continue. That should open a new tab. And as long as you're in the same browser and you're signed into TikTok and into Zendrop, it should automatically bring you to this right here. And you can just confirm, install. You have to enter your contact email address, then read everything, say authorize. Actually, check that box, then say authorize. All right, and there we go. That brings us back to Zendrop. It tells us that it is enabled. You can disable the constant auto fulfillment if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave it enabled for now. We'll say got it. We can choose our warehouse. So now this is the next thing we have to do. We have to make sure that we get our warehouse correct. So we need to create a Zendrop warehouse on TikTok and then select it from the dropdown. So let's go back to TikTok. From here, we're going to go up to our account on the top right. I'm going to go through this slowly because this is a very, very important step. We'll go to My Account. We'll go to Account Settings. Then from here, click on Warehouse Settings. Now we're going to add a pickup warehouse. We'll say Add Warehouse. The warehouse name, we're going to type in Zendrop Warehouse. Then the contact person, we will say BL. The warehouse phone number, you can just copy this, 754-217-5134. Just copy that phone number exactly. That's what you want. Just trust me on this. This is based on Zendrop's website. This is what the warehouse that they want us to add in here so that we are compliant with TikTok. Then for the address, you could just copy and paste this right here. It's in Miami, Florida, so you can just click on that address. Again, I'll have a link in the description, by the way, so you can actually see it. It's on TikTok's website, all of this information, but it's just easier if you type it in as I am typing it in right now. So once we have all of that, let's double check it. Zendrop Warehouse, BL, that's the phone number. We've got the address, Miami, Florida, and then we can say save. So we'll say save, and now we have that warehouse. There we go. Warehouse is ready there. Then we need a return warehouse. We're going to say add warehouse. And let's select same as saved warehouse address. That is a Zendrop warehouse. It's the same as the first one. We can say save. And now both of our warehouses should be populated. Make sure both of these are listed there. That looks good. It says we're reviewing our documents. Okay, actually that's from before. We already are approved. So that's not a problem. I think we should be good here. This looks right. Now, there's more to this. Now on the left side, we want to click on orders. And then we want to go down to fulfillment settings and click on shipping and delivery. Then click on switch option. Click on seller shipping. All right, now from here, before we click on OK, let's click on view templates. It should open a new tab and show us this blank page right here. On the top, we can click on create, and we're going to create a new template. We'll say confirm. And from here, we're going to name this Zendrop template 1. We can say quantity based, and then we can scroll down and select maybe free economy shipping right here. And maybe the express shipping might be like $3.99. That's maybe the shipping that we want to do right here. We could also offer express shipping if you wanted to, but let's just say those are the options we have. I'm going to say submit. Oh, actually we need a warehouse. We're going to select our warehouse up there. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Now let's click on submit. We'll say save. And now we have that template saved. So now if we go back to that previous tab where we were, again, seller shipping is what we want. We can say okay. We can say okay again. And now we are all set and ready to go. All right, so everything's looking good here. Let's go back to Zendrop on this tab right here. This is where we left off, remember? So all we have to do now is choose our warehouse, and you might need to refresh this page if it doesn't show up, but it should show up right there, Zendrop Warehouse. So click on Zendrop Warehouse. Then we can click on apply. All right, so now we should be mostly set up. You'll see right here, create a shipping template from Zendrop order fulfillment. Okay, if we click on that, we should already have that. I don't know why it's prompting us right there. We should have a shipping template. Okay, please confirm you created one. Yes, confirm. We have one. Good. Okay, so let's confirm everything that we have here. If we go back to the Seller Center, we have our shipping template. Good. We do have our fulfillment through Zendrop. Let's just double check that, make sure we have that right. So if we go to my account, go to account settings, go to warehouse settings. Yes, Zendrop warehouse there. We got the shipping. Okay, so everything's set up correctly on that side. And on Zendrop side, we have our product. If we go to my products, this one is ready to review and publish. We'll say review and publish, and we can publish to my store. Let's publish to the store. It wants us to choose a collection. We can call this collection phones and electronics. Sure, we'll just go with that for now. Say publish to my store, and we should get a little green button right there, a little green icon once it gets published. All right, so now all we have to do is wait a couple minutes until this turns green. It'll tell us that it is connected. Right now, it just says publishing. It may take a couple minutes for this to actually turn green, but that's essentially all you need to know to connect your Zendrop here with all the products. And you can have multiple products connected to that store as well over to your TikTok shop. And when you're on TikTok shop, you can manage everything over here. You can see your orders. You can see products. All of that will be populating once we have that connected, once this actually goes published. Once this actually gets published. And from there, you're able to run some ads. You're able to make content on TikTok and tag the product. You're able to search for that product and find it and find your store and, really just go from there. So I recommend next you watch my video on TikTok ads. So if you search for TikTok ads Santrel Media on YouTube, you'll see this one right here. Actually, I'm working on a newer one, so there may be even a newer one than this. I recommend watching that one next so you can start promoting the product that you now have listed on TikTok Shop. So if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you over in that next video.